Just this week, the white paper issued by the government on the report of the Steve Onroshaye-led Presidential Committee on Rationalization of Federal Government Parastatals put 3 aviation agencies on the merger spot. These agencies are the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. The recommendations will see a new body to be known as the Federal Civil Aviation Authority, FCAA, while their respective enabling laws are expected to be amended accordingly to reflect the merger. The government also rejected the privatization of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, in view of the security situation in the country. These recommendations form the basis of our discussion on this edition of the program. This is Aviation This Week on Channels Television. Welcome on board. I'm Bukola Joe-Oketunmbi.
On the local scene, Overland Airways ATR-72 aircraft with registration number 5NBPE on scheduled service from Ibadan to Abuja had an air return in the week following a cracked windshield. In a statement from the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, the pilot, while airborne, noticed some cracks in the windshield and subsequently requested to divert the aircraft to Lagos to allow for change of plane for the passengers. 42 passengers and 6 crew members were on board the aircraft as at the time of the incident. Staying with airlines, Aero Contractors has commenced scheduled flights into the Asaba International Airport, with Lagos and Abuja as the initial routes. The aircraft received the traditional water cannon salute. The Managing Director of Aero, Mr. Hugh Fraser, who was on an inspection of the airport facilities, observed that the airport has attained the required standard.
Our flight leaves here in the morning and comes back 4 hours later, bringing passengers to and from Lagos. So you can connect on Qatar Airways, Emirates and other airlines in Lagos. So we're looking for local passengers and connecting business. And we're trying to develop trade between this area of Nigeria and the north.
The Deputy Governor, Professor Amos Utuama, a senior advocate of Nigeria, commended Aero Contractors for commencing flight operations in Asaba Airport.
It's a whole vast of opportunity that the operation of this airport is bringing. And in particular, with the Aero addition that is going to connect international flight, it will facilitate movement of people internationally and backward and forward. So I think the airport has lived to its billing.
Away from airlines to passengers services celebration at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport.
You are boarding from E55, this is your seat number, and here is your zone. So, let me tag you another, please. Yeah, that's it.
The Managing Director of the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company handled a passenger with reduced mobility. For him, this was a demonstration that passengers hold a pride of place in the handling business.
What people remember is the experience that they had, because you don't leave them with a tangible product per se, not like a biro that you manufacture and they can test the quality of the biro. I, as a CEO, actually facilitated a wheelchair passenger to show that it's not just people on the shop floor that are interested in service alone. The passenger is the one that pays for the airline, and the airline pays our charges. So that's where we get our money from. So we consider customer and the passenger to be extremely important.
Now to the foreign scene. This time, the battle between Airbus and Boeing, both aircraft manufacturers, is extending from commercial jets into specialized military aircraft. Boeing has said it will try to sell its new aerial refueling tanker to South Korea. South Korea said it would invite bids by June for 4 tankers, and a contract valued at around $1.3 billion that is expected to trigger offers from Boeing and Airbus. as well as others that might seek to convert some of the global glut in cargo jets into refueling planes.
Our airplane was built with a lot of growth in it on purpose to always outpace the threat. We offer a very attractive modular option to do a wide assortment of missions with this one airplane, and we can do it very capably.
If you need a low observable mission, this enclosed weapon pod will let you do that, and the tanks are good all the time.
Airbus last month won a coveted 6-plane tanker order from Singapore, which had been identified by Boeing and the Pentagon as a potential customer for the KC-46A Pegasus, which the U.S. plane maker aims to have in service with the U.S. Air Force in 2017. The Boeing-built tanker is one of the U.S. Air Force's 3 priority programs that have been largely insulated from budget cuts.
News reports say the co-pilot of the missing Malaysian airliner MH370 tried to make a mid-flight call from his mobile phone just before the plane vanished from radar screens. The call ended abruptly, possibly because the aircraft was fast moving away from the telecommunications tower. However, it was also discovered that while Farik Abdul Hamid's line was reattached, there was no certainty that a call was made from the Boeing 777 which vanished on 8th March. Meanwhile, the Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott said signals picked up during the search in the remote southern Indian Ocean, believed to be pings from the black box recorders, were rapidly fading. The Prime Minister said while there is a high degree of confidence that the transmissions that were picked up are from flight MH370's black box recorder, no one would underestimate the difficulties of the task still ahead of the team. Search officials say they are confident they know the approximate position of the black box recorder, although they have determined that the latest ping picked up by searchers on Thursday was not from the missing aircraft. The airliner disappeared on the 8th of March 2014 during its journey from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 passengers and crew on board.